welcome back to another episode of the Nonsense for the World podcast, hosted by myself, Lacey,
Ebo,
Noodle.
It's me, your favorite rapper, Ben 10, from hit TV show Ben 10.
No, that's TP.
and today we actually have a very special guest. Joining us today is Mr.
You introduce yourself.
Oh, hey, I'm SaxTrain, guys. How are you?
That was
How's it
perfect. I
going?
love Hey, Sax.
How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on your podcast. I'm
Thanks
honored.
for coming.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So, guys, SaxTrain is a very well-known streamer and musician.
Oh, stop.
And is he is, and little known fact, he is the husband of Shay Face, who we had in one of our other previous podcasts.
So this is true. You've done your fact checking, Noodle.
Yes, I have. I've just got all my files open up in front of me, and it's like Sax plus Shay equals marriage, and I'm looking at it, and the equations are forming.
I imagine
Nodding
you
your
have
head.
a wall with just a bunch of different leads connected by string.
I have that one.
I wish I had that.
It's like two pictures just connected by one.
Yeah, and I'm like, what does it mean?
Just a question mark.
What is this nonsense?
Oh, nice throwback there. I like that. Ooh. And we're already spiraling out of control. Sax,
Yeah, back on track.
why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Well, my name is SaxTrain. You can also call me Sax or Train or Chris. Go by any of those names. I've been playing sax for about 22 years. Been streaming for about a year, and I also game as well. I'm a global product marketing manager by day and a bit of a streamer by night.
You're like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
I
actually.
wish.
Twitch.tv/SaxTrain. If you guys want to check him out, you should. You won't regret it. Links will be in the description below. TP, you had questions, I believe?
I do indeed. Sax, the first one, a bit of an obvious one. No, actually, we start off with where you got your name, SaxTrain.
Ooh, that's a good one. A lot of people think it's a pun on Sex Train. It's actually, I got it from John Coltrane, who's a famous tenor sax player who kind of redefined the jazz genre in the 1960s. So just a combination of I wanted to market my name, so I put sax in it just so you knew what I was about, and then train just kind of came from John Coltrane.
What got you into playing sax in the first place?
Let's see. I was about 10 years old, and we had to pick an instrument to try out, and I was between flute, trombone, and sax. And there was a sax player on Sesame Street at the time, and he was badass. So I was like, I want to be like that guy. So
Sesame Street legend.
yeah, so chose the sax.
I like that. It's really wholesome.
Yeah. Sesame Street built a legend.
Was that was music a big part of your childhood then?
Oh yeah, definitely. I took private lessons since I was 10. Was in bands outside of school as well.
So when was the first what would you call it? When was your first paid gig then? When you started?
Probably when I was in high school. I had a ska band I was in, and we played at a local music festival for about 2,000 people, and that was pretty cool.
Damn!
Damn,
I
that's a
don't think
lot.
I've actually ever seen 2,000 people together.
Oh, hey,
But that's
yes,
like
you
more
are.
than 7, right?
Yeah, it was a fun time.
Was that one of the biggest, or is it the big?
Probably my biggest gig was in front of 5,000 people. I had to play the U.S. national anthem on a
Wow.
jumbotron
Oh, and the
Holy
jumbo.
crap.
next to the mayor of a local town. Now, the tough part about that is you got like 5 people next to you singing out of key and out of time the national anthem. And it's a song that means like a lot of different things to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things you really don't want to fuck up, but it's really easy to fuck up because you have like 5 people around you singing in different time, different notes. But
I can
Uh,
imagine you
was a
were
fun
you were probably
experience.
you were probably the only one who like wasn't messing up, I'm guessing.
I think I only made one mistake, but it wasn't that noticeable.
Just the slipped key, I'm guessing.
Exactly. Like a slipper stuck key.
You should have pushed them out of the way and just finished the solo.
Oh, go full solo mode.
Pushed them off the stage and just finish and stuff.
Why
Yes.
pushing when you can kick?
Kick them
off.
I
Like
mean,
drop
he
kick
could
to forward.
if he used his feet, he'd still be able to play the saxophone.
Yeah, indeed.
It's true.
Sax, you said you streamed on Twitch. What started that?
Just watching other people streaming on Twitch, I got interested in it, and basically just being, it's like, hey, I'm kind of doing this anyway on my own time. I'm playing sax, I'm playing games. Might as well just turn on a camera and let other people watch while I'm doing it. Let them hang out.
So it was like you wanted like this welcoming environment where people got to share in what you did?
Yeah, just kind of a place where people could hang out, play games with me, and just kind of I like meeting people from all walks of life and around the world.
I'd say you're bringing a huge variety of people to, with music and video.
Yeah, definitely have met a large variety of people from all walks of life. It's really awesome.
There was a question I wanted to ask Shay, but I never got around to doing it. Between the lines of Twitch and I'm gonna say real life, even though they're both the same thing, would you have more friends on Twitch, or quote-unquote friends? We technically don't know each other, but we do build these relationships. So I'll consider people you meet on Twitch friends. But would you consider or say that you have more friends Twitch or IRL?
Ooh, it's a good question. I still have a lot of IRL friends. We're definitely losing common interests because they're all like having children and multiple children, and we're not.
Mm-hmm.
But so I definitely say that I'm gaining more friends that I can relate to through Twitch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I
That
can imagine
is
it's like a
right, yeah.
center for people with.
Yeah, I mean it's been great getting to know all you guys and just a fun time. And I think one of the first streamers that got me into streaming was definitely Lukey, and watching her streams a bunch, and because I was always a big fan of the game Ring of Elysium.
That was one of the first few games that I actually seen Shay play with Daft, was Ring of Elysium. And
Yeah, such a great game.
I don't recall actually meeting you until much later. Because
Think so.
I remember it was definitely a raid of Shay's that brought me to your stream. Do you know what it was? I remember being in the raid, and I remember subbing, and then you asking for the song request, and I probably gave the most generic answer going, was to ask you to play Careless Whisper.
Oh, yeah.
How many times do you get asked to play that?
I should have a
roughly
counter or a command,
you-
or if you do command like Careless Whisper, it shows you how many times I've played it.
Oh my god. If you had to guess during one, say, a week of you just doing casual streaming or a weekend, whichever you do the most, how many times do you think you get asked?
At least once a night when I play. So if I'm playing, I'll definitely get asked once.
I think you could probably play that with your eyes closed.
Oh yeah. I don't even think about it anymore. It's just pure muscle memory.
I think the saxophone is probably, in other words, like the sexiest instrument you could play.
Oh, thank you.
But it does, when you play it, it has sex appeal. Yeah, because when you play it, it's seductive.
That's why I picked it when I was 10, really.
10-year-olds
I
like,
was really aiming for that sex appeal. Like,
a little
this
10-year-old
is gonna help out later in life. I'm gonna practice you a bunch.
I can just imagine a little kid holding a giant fucking saxophone and going, yeah, I'm gonna be known as SaxTrain.
Probably. I think the first pictures of me with the sax are just like me rocking out with like sunglasses on.
For some reason, that's the first thing I picture. You have to be wearing sunglasses. It's like some sort of Blues Brothers thing.
It really is. It's completely necessary.
Sorry, I think I may have like cut off Ebo from saying something, and I did it again. Sorry, Ebo. You go. You do.
I just said must be.
Oh, okay. TP, I'm sure you have a long list of questions there for Mr. Train.
I have another couple of questions on just video games in general. You said, was it Ring of Elysium got you into Twitch?
Yeah, Ring of Elysium was what really got me into streaming. I just really liked playing that game. It was like a better version of PUBG. Just had all these quality of life improvements that PUBG didn't have, a better inventory system, a cool way to transport yourself around the map via like hang gliders or bicycles.
I presume you've played video games before Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Goes probably all the way back to the late 1980s when I had a Apple II computer with giant 5 1/4 inch floppy disks.
Oh.
And after that, probably the big old original Game Boy.
Amen, amen. So that's just a little question to everyone in the group. That's where I was trying to lead it to nostalgic games we have. A little question for.
Oh, as in what was our first kind of old-time video games?
Yeah, or maybe like the best memories you have as like a little kid, you know, picking your nose, eating apples and just playing games.
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
For me, years ago, I do remember one of the first games I played, but the first memory that came to me wasn't a good one. Do you guys ever recall the Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban video game?
Was
I
it
remember
on
the book.
PlayStation 2?
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah.
I remember I used to have an immense fear of that film when I saw it in cinemas because I never liked, the Dementors, the guys in cloaks floating around who would try to suck the happiness. That terrified me as a kid. And I remember my mom bought me the game. And you play as Ron, naturally, because I'm a ginger, I have to play as Ron.
Yeah.
And you basically have to drag Harry away from a Dementor while it drains his soul. And I was screaming while playing it and shaking, and that's the only memory of playing that game.
Just in sweat.
And then afterwards I played Jack and Dexter, which was one of my favorite games, and I had a blast.
Nice.
What about you, TP? What's your guilty pleasure video game?
I was thinking about it, and like thinking back, I think I was I shouldn't swear, but like such a slow kid. Like thinking about some of the games I was playing, like back, like do you know the movie Ants? I think it's a
Yes.
Disney
Oh
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I had like that on something, like on a computer somewhere. I don't even remember owning a computer. But like, as I grew up, all I can remember is the first level of every game. I don't think I've ever beaten the first level in any game up until
Oh
that
my
age.
god, that's as a child you never were able to beat these video games.
Yeah, like I'd just be like hours playing level 1, walking around doing nothing.
I remember doing those.
I actually remember that same game. I have been
Yeah.
playing
Did
it.
you? That would be a good stream.
I
So
played
actually-
a lot actually.
See, I love the old video games. That old style was so much fun. Like the old Sonic was funny.
They're so
Sax, what would
broken
be
sometimes it makes.
Oh yeah. Sax, what was your oldest video game, or your first video game, should I say? Or did you already answer that?
Oh man. I don't remember. They were like all on an old Apple computer and they were all terrible. They were all like green screen, green pixels. You didn't know what the hell was going on.
It's actually kind of making me cringe.
The first games that I probably enjoyed though were playing with my brother the old Mortal Kombat games when those came out. So Mortal Kombat 2 came out back in the 90s. And oh man, we used to like beat each other up over that game. We'd get so intense into it.
were you an arcade kid, Sax?
Oh yeah, definitely. We'd go to the arcade and play different games, but mostly like Mortal Kombat.
For some reason, because you're obviously a lot older than myself, TP, Lacey, and Ebo. So
It's a little call.
yeah, I know it's for some reason most of the guests are always going to be older people than us. But you've definitely had a different, what's the word, perspective on this kind of, I'll call it the gaming industry, than we do. Because we got the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2. We when we were all born, those with consoles were getting big.
Yeah, that's right.
And you had to deal with these fucking, you basically had to like,
Screens and
I don't even know, like, you know how you start up a lawnmower? You probably had to do that to one of the old consoles.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't even remember. My first console was the PlayStation 1. And it was, I played Rayman on it.
Oh, Rayman
Yes.
was great.
And Spyro. Spyro was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was
It's a
good.
one, too.
We had it as well.
They remastered it, didn't they?
Yes, they
Yeah.
did. I finished the remastered Crash Bandicoot, and I want to get the Spyro one. I actually have some of the old Spyros on my old. I stole PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 from my ex years ago, and
Nice.
I took a bunch of the games with me. So I managed to find one of my. I would call this game my Mona Lisa, because it was the most like precious game I loved. Have you guys ever? It's quite. It'd be modern, but we would consider it a classic. You guys ever heard of Crash Twinsanity?
No.
Doesn't ring a
was-
bell.
It was a Crash Bandicoot game where you got to play as different characters, but it was also kind of a 3D one. But the one thing that captured me by it so much was the entire soundtrack of the game was done a cappella.
Oh.
And as soon as you started it up, you'd know it straight away, because it was that boom, 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 do, 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 do. And it would just go like that the entire game, and it used to drive me demented.
Okay.
And I love
Sounds kind of
and I
like
love
a polka.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm trying to
Did
think
you ever
of.
play those games you like? It was just like a controller, and you plug it into a TV or something, and then there's a game on it.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, they're like little joystick ones or something.
Space
Yep.
Invaders?
Space
Yeah.
Invaders or Galaga.
Galaga. The only reason I know what that is from the Avengers film.
I used to play that in an arcade.
What is Galaga?
Galaga is kind of like Space Invaders, but you have like 5 rows of aliens that slowly move down towards you, and you're on the bottom of the screen shooting up at them, hiding
Oh, it's that
behind
one.
3 like barriers,
Oh.
and they keep. And as they move down, they're like pooping little missiles on you, you know?
Yeah. The fact that that was considered like brilliant back then, and now we have video games that like you can walk around and it's as if you're watching a movie.
Right?
It's such a. I think what I really like is, Sax, you grew up in the 90s, right?
Yeah, I was born in late 80s, and remember some of the late 80s into the 90s.
So you got like this. So we're almost into 2020 now.
That's crazy.
Which is scary. Yeah.
What the heck?
I know.
I'm starting to
And-
feel old.
Oh yeah, feels old, man.
I'm sorry, Sax,
scared.
but
I
I know
love
how you feel.
Sax is what, turning 32? 33?
Currently 32,
32.
but I'll
And-
be 33 in another 6 months.
Oh my god. And to put in comparison, I will be 23 in, I don't know how many days, but the 25th of September. It's the 8th today.
Oh, nice, man. Birthday hype.
So, I know. I'll do a birthday stream for that.
Yes. You have
I
to.
love this. I'll wear a suit and everything.
I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
But what I like about that is we've both. I was trying to say the comparison
Tippy,
between.
that's private show
Yeah.
after the stream.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I didn't know we were in this channel. Yeah, sorry. We'll talk about it after. Like one noodle? Sorry, there was a.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's okay.
You were saying?
The comparison between Sax's age and our age is good because he grew up with as what we call the classics, and the new stuff to him at that time was what we call our classics. And I think it's absolutely bizarre because his standard of video games is different. Sax, what would you consider top of the line right now?
I'm definitely, I really care about graphics. And I think my obsession over graphics started with Myst, which was like a PC game from 1995.
What was
You
that
guys
like?
have never played Myst? I think it's you can download it on an iPhone or Android, and it's actually you can play it on your phone now.
Ooh.
But the game had incredible graphics that were all pre-rendered, meaning your computer didn't. It was like a slideshow you walk through. Versus computers nowadays render everything in real time. But I'm seeing a lot of great visuals coming out of games right now. You want a game with good gameplay, something that'll keep you coming back. Definitely really enjoying Gears 5 right now. Death Garden, Apex Legends.
Oh, love Apex.
Such a good game.
I do have another very good question from our viewers. Yeah, it's a doozy of a question. Sax, you've been streaming for over a year, and you've met us about. How long would you have known us? I'd say you've probably known Evo maybe 7 months.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Almost a year.
Myself about 6.
Yep.
And probably about the same time as Lacey and TP.
Yeah,
we
I'd
go
say
back about
so.
10 years, Sax, I'd say.
So,
We go all
We
the
knew
way
each other as
back.
kids. Yeah.
when you first met us, what was your opinion of us?
Ooh, that's
We
a
are-
good
we are-
question.
We've asked Shay this exact same question, and she absolutely tore into us saying that she absolutely hated our guts.
She's a best man.
That's true.
I'll have to think here.
No.
I remember Lacey, and when she was talking about, I first saw her in Shay's chat, and she was talking about her grip tape art, and I just remember thinking about how cool it was that you got Lacey being this entrepreneur with her own business and an artist, just so inspiring.
Poggers.
Oh yeah, it's just like so cool. I just remember how much that really impressed me. And first time I met Ebo was in Lukey's stream, so that was cool because Lukey is one of the first streamers that inspired me to stream. So Ebo and I go way back.
Actually, I just checked that. It's 11 months.
Wow.
Holy
Now, see, we go way back.
Yeah. Actually,
God
that's
damn.
when I followed you on Twitch.
Wow.
So it's over a year. We've known each other.
Yeah, it was you, me, and like Lazy Penguin were like frequenting. You were like Lukey's chat. And I remember when Noodle first came into Shay's chat, and I remember thinking how awesome that name was. It's just such a great name. Your mom's a noodle. And then when I got raided and you came into my chat and I tried reading out your name, I butchered it.
Oh.
I said like your mom's a boodle or something like that.
I think you were looking at
Completely
something
fucked
else
up.
when you read my name.
Completely fucked it up, and I felt bad about that. I remember that. And I remember I was like, God damn it. You had a cool name and I fucked it up.
Don't worry, I've been called worse.
Well,
TP,
everyone is
I mean-
fucking up my name all the time. So. I don't even get it why it's so hard.
I mean,
What's
it's
your
just
name, Storm?
Spacco.
Spoko. It's Spoko.
So
It's not A.
It looks like an A.
Yeah, but it's a Swedish
I'm
O.
Spoko?
Yeah, Spoko.
Ah.
Okay, for context for people listening, because we're all looking at Discord at the moment, we've got Ebo has changed his name to Spoko, and it's SP with an A.
It's
But then there's a
Swedish
little
O.
Yes, but there's a little circle above the A, so it's a Swedish O, and then the K has like, I'm guessing like took a
It's
curling
just a
iron
font.
to the top of it and kind of stretched it out a little bit,
It's font.
And
Someone bonked him on.
and then the O at the end has got like a cow's leg. It's pretty weird.
It's the
Raising up.
font.
Oh, sorry, sorry, Sax, continue.
Oh, no worries. Noodle, you were just always just such a comedian, man. You're just hilarious and just always loved what you were typing in a chat. And always such a gentleman.
Tips top hat.
Tips his top hat to everyone. Fantastic person. And
Thank you.
of course, we got Trash Panda Doggo.
That's me.
We go way back.
We were friends since we were kids.
We go all the way back. I mean, I think we were scaling the Andes,
Oh, I remember it.
Yes, it was
We were
crazy, and there were a few times where he was going for those garbage cans. You know how deep he is.
Up the
You
Andes,
guys
yeah.
know. He sees those garbage cans, he gets a little nutty.
Can't help himself.
He's
All
just
I-
gotta
all I-
dive in.
It's
But
the aroma.
the locals there weren't about that, so I had
Yeah, they
to
were
stop
pretty-
him. But ever
might
since
just
then
go
we
back
became
up and start
great
causing
friends. I always kept
Is-
trash in my backpack for him. Fresh
The
trash.
trash pack.
in my trash pocket.
A trash pocket.
But no, I think the first time I met TP was in Shay's chat, and I just, much like Noodle, TP, just a fantastic comedian. Just always like everything that TP says.
Funny Boy Squad.
I'm blushing.
Yeah, you guys crack me up. All of you alls.
The entire gang.
Funny
we're all...
individuals.
Well,
Lacey,
we got that
Evo, Noodle, TP. I'm sure Kayla is also very funny as well. Although I have not met
she's a
Kayla
riot.
too much.
She's
I'm
great.
sure she is a laugh riot.
Yeah, she's funny.
I always love seeing you
Sa-
two Sax. Every time we get to chat, I love it. So.
Me too, man.
When I think to incorporate how we all start talking, it's usually in Shay's chat because you'll be working at the time.
Yeah.
Doing your cheeky lurking
I feel
work.
bad because like I can only pop in for a little bit at a time, so I miss a lot of conversation, and sometimes I feel bad. Like, are people responding to what I say when I have to go back to work, and then I come back an hour later and I don't know because there's no chat history. So it's kind of a weird situation with my work lurking.
But I can confirm for you, Sax. Anytime you have asked a question, I would say at least 3 people have replied to you. So I wouldn't worry about anyone not replying to you. You're one of those people who, if you said something in chat, people will talk to you.
I think, yeah. I just hope I'm around to see it and not like, doing work.
Yeah, work sucks, yeah.
It does.
Most of the time, anything we say is nonsense, so it's probably better to...
But then,
if you
isn't
see
that
the start of
enjoyable?
yeah. If you start at the start of our conversations or the middle, it still is going to be...
I think even if you read the entire conversation.
Yeah, you get lost. I
Yeah,
do often,
definitely.
like, as we're talking, get lost.
I think one of my favorite things about Sax. Let's not talk about him, just his stream, just when I chat to him. So let's take away brilliant streamer. Let's take away he's a fantastic musician. Let's talk about just how he.
It's also beautiful.
Yeah, the most.
Flattery will get you everything.
The manliest man around. What I love is, and it's happened a few times, I think it's hilarious. Right. People will come into chat and we'll all be talking away, and then when people start to be trolly. Sometimes it's bad trolling, sometimes it's kind of playful trolling. But then if none of the mods are in chat, like if I'm not specifically messaging or Daft's not there, these little trolls will start to get a bit more riled up, a bit more messing with Shay, and then Sax will just pop in, oh hey guys, and then it's just shut down instantly. Bang! Because Sax walks in with this big ass hammer, the ban hammer, and everybody just shuts up.
Hey guys, how's it going? My finger's getting itchy.
You always say that.
You should one day just
Oh,
ban
man.
anyone. Just random.
I love seeing a ban. I think it's funny.
It's one of the best moments.
It is fun.
I think because a lot of the time, if I have to ban someone, it'll be either one of those quick bans where I know instantly I'm getting rid of this person, or it's one of those ones where I'm like, do I have to wait it out and see what they're going to say, because what they've said hasn't really, I'm not sure if it's like meant something to the streamer.
Yeah, I
it's
hate
like
those
a
ones.
gray zone.
Yeah, and it's as if someone said, I'll take Shays for example, where it's like someone said, I'm not really fond of your art or something. And I'm sitting there thinking, is this someone giving like normal criticism, or is it someone just being a hater? And I'm sitting there, and sometimes, like, I think I've seen it only once, but the Daft will ban instantly. Daft doesn't care. even if it's a mild comment. And I seen one where it was like, I don't like this, and then I think they said something, and it was not even on the screen for a blink. And then I actually blinked, and then it says SaxTrain has banned this person from the chat. I was like, what the fuck happened? Where did it go? He was gone from this earth. Oh, and
I wasn't particularly fond of his comment.
And then you just decided to wipe him from existence.
Just deleted him.
There's another thing I really liked. I want Sax's opinion on it because it's something he's involved in, it's something I'm involved in, it's something Daff is involved in, and it's something Panda is involved in. He already knows what I'm gonna say.
Oh,
the Mod
yes.
Squad annual calendar photo shoot.
Yes.
Where did this come from, and why is it a thing?
I have no idea. I was just spitballing ideas one day, and I was like, you know what? I bet we'd sell a lot of fucking calendars.
Sexy fireman calendars.
Sexy fireman calendars.
Oh wait, Sax, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, indeed, I doodly do.
Hit me, baby.
Let's see it.
Let me think. So, I was just kind of curious how you guys came up with your names, the origin, the genesis.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Who thought of it? Can you remember?
I believe he's referring to our actual Twitch names.
Yeah, your
Oh,
Twitch
I thought
names.
you meant the podcast name.
How did you pick your names or your podcast name too, Spoko?
Oh. The Twitch name, huh?
Yeah.
My name comes from Ebola and horse. Like most of you know, but you don't know why it comes from Ebola and horse. When Ebola was a huge thing in the news, like 2011 or something, we were playing Minecraft with our friends. So horses were a brand new thing in Minecraft back then. And someone just said, let's go get the horses. And while we went to get the horses, we were talking about the Ebola news. And when we finally found the horses, I started to think about the name of the horse. But I'm gonna name it. And then I said, I'm just gonna name it Ebola horse. And then my friend got an amazing idea and said, how about Ebola? And I was, oh yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's
the
great.
name.
I like that. I really like that.
That's awesome.
TP, your name?
I started off with a couple of different names. I had to go through a couple of variations. I started off with I was Pitbull for a while. Then I changed into Tay-Zonday. Some lower class celebrities right there. No offense to them if they ever see this. But, not well-known names really. And then eventually I just said, I think I thinking about this recently, I probably saw the little raccoon emote that's in Twitch. And I just said, what's a raccoon? Trash Panda. And then Trash Panda was probably already taken, so I threw in Doggo or something. And then it just stuck.
Magic.
That's fantastic.
For mine, you know how people on Twitch say we can't have anything too offensive? It's
Right.
TOS. I said to myself, I wanted something that will insult someone, but it will be nice. It won't breach TOS. So one of the biggest jokes that were used when I was in school was your mum. Like if someone said, oh my god, you have dog breath, and we just go, oh, your mum. and then that was like
Got
the
him.
Uno reversal card.
Got
And, and so I thought to myself, okay, maybe something like a light, kind of soft insult, but with my own little flair on it. As most of you know, I have an obsession with Chinese food.
So good.
So, oh, I love Chinese food, and the one thing I thought of was noodles. The first thing I thought of was noodles. So I thought to myself, well, I think it would be quite a funny joke, like, for someone to say, your mum's a noodle. And then I was like, you know what, that actually sounds really good. So I typed it in, and then I went fishing, as I called it. And I popped into someone's chat, and I typed in hello, and they said, your mum's my mum's not a noodle. And then it was like, I was like, yep, it's gonna be, it's a conversation starter. And that's where it all came from. And then it's changed over the years. People like to call me different things. So you've got people usually call me Noodle. A streamer calls me Mama Noodle. James DeWitt calls me Nudes. And then there's specifically Sax, your mum actually calls me your mums.
Yep.
Anytime
So
she's in stream, I always go, oh, hello Irish Lori, and then she'd be like, oh, hey, your mums, and I'm like, okay, and then she also sees that people call me Noodle as well, so maybe it's just her thing to call me your mums.
That's funny. It's so funny.
I loved all those ones, and then obviously you refer to me as Noodle Boy, which I started using in my I use that in my title for my streams, and I like it. Noodle Boy suits. It's your boy Noodle.
It's your boy Noodle.
And that's how it's stuck, and I really like my name.
It's a solid name, man.
I think, in all honesty... Oh yeah, that's actually a good question. I've got another question from our viewers before we finish up. Mr. Train.
Yes, sir.
One of our audience members asked, does your mom listen to the podcast?
Oh, good question. I know we talked about it with her, but I don't know if she's listened to it. I'll have to ask her.
Because I'd say she definitely liked this episode with her bright, shining baby boy.
Oh, definitely.
And she'll
definitely.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, yeah. She always refers, like, whenever she's talking about you, Noodle, she says, your mumsy doodle.
Mumsy doodle.
So thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Nonsense for the World podcast. Thank you for the hosts, along with Mr. SaxTrain, for joining us once again.
Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming on.
Our personal Instagrams, Twitch accounts, and links will all be in the description below, along with all of SaxTrain's info. Once again, thank you all for listening. Peace out.
And then with a kiss. Mwah!
Nice.